Now, here on the Good Doctor Show, we are here to tackle issues that affect the human condition. And today we have two guests in studio. Jeanne Ricks, who is a stress sciences expert, nutritional consultant, personal trainer, and clinical hypnotherapist, who is quietly turning stress management on its head. Now, Jeanne Ricks recently brought her anti-stress crusade to the streets in a documentary video series that chronicles her impromptu educational exchanges with passersby. Her book, The Biology of Beating Stress, and her workbook, Be More Stress Less, are both available nationwide. And also with us is Craig Cobb, the creator of the Hair Tonic product. And it is one of the Good Doctor approved products I strongly recommend. He is here to share with us his riveting story about how he has come to create such an outstanding product. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. You know, Jeanne, I want to talk to you. Statistics indicate that stress is literally killing us. And the CDC indicates that the top sources of stress are, I hate to even report this, but it's true. The first one is job pressure due to coworker tension, bosses, and work overload. The second one, of course, is money, which we're trying to alleviate with the $1 billion paying down, okay? The third one is health. And it's a health crisis, a terminal or chronic illness, and we combat that here each and every week. Then the next one is relationships, divorce, death, arguments with friends, being lonely. Then, of course, poor nutrition, inadequate nutrition, caffeine, processed foods, refined sugars, media overload. I was shocked at that one. You know, well, you could just turn off that news. Yes, you can. And then the last one, of course, is sleep deprivation. Okay, what did I say? Get perfect health for free? And sleep is one of the things you can do. Just go to bed, you all. Now, when I read this list, I can see why America is a nation that is subjected to more stress than any other country in the world. And what we don't have is enough coping skills to combat this stress, which is why I've brought in Jeanne as our expert today. Jeanne Ricks, the author of The Biology of Beating Stress and the former director of holistic wellness programs for City College of New York, and through her own New Day Holistic Health. Hey. Welcome, Jeanne. Hey.
Thank you so much. You know, we have to let people off the hook. They don't let themselves off the hook, so we've got to start letting them off the hook.
Is that how we do it?
Yeah. Because if you think about it, there's no such thing as stress.
Ooh, you said a mouthful. Come on, break that down.
Your body, my body, his body, the only thing it knows is danger and non-danger. Now here we are, we've decided, wait a minute, there's another category called stress in the middle. It's a little gray area. It's not quite that, but it's not that, but it doesn't actually exist. Stress doesn't actually exist. It's what we have termed a gray area that is imaginary.
Okay.
So your brain, as soon as you get into a situation, and I do mean within seconds.
Yes.
As soon as you look at that phone and you see somebody on that phone coming up and you're like, oh, I don't want to speak to that person. In that instant, or it's your boss, in that instant, your triglycerides start getting dumped into your bloodstream. Your body starts going into fight or flight. You don't realize it, but your adrenals kick in instantaneously. Now, what that does, because if you think about it, it's actually low-level trauma, stress.
Say it.
But we don't consider it as such. And again, we don't address it. We just keep moving on about our day. Say you're on the phone with your boss and you're having this conversation. He's telling you something, or she is telling you something that you've got to get done. It has a deadline, has all these components to it. And you're like, in your head, you're like, oh my God. And then on the other line, you happen to see your daughter calling in or your son calling in. Now, you've got a double load. You got two things going on that are potential stressors. And you don't do anything about it. You're busy trying to figure out how you're going to handle it. Okay, you figure out a few things, you start moving in those directions.
Yes.
And you get the problem solved. But in the meantime, you haven't done any kind of thing to release the energy that you have built up. In the meantime, your body's gone through this domino effect. It's collected triglycerides, like I said. It's also given you cravings for sugar and fat because it's things you need to run. But at the same time, it's turned down your ability to digest because it figures, well, you're running, so you don't need to, have good digestion. It also turns off your sex drive. Just want to mention it. And it's doing all of it, culling all of these resources to give you energy because it thinks you've got to run now, because it thinks you're in danger. You know it's stress. Your body doesn't know that. Your brain doesn't know that. It thinks you have to run. So now that it's culled all these resources, you finally solve the problem. You go on to the next problem. You just keep sitting there going
compounding problems.
Exactly. But you haven't done anything about the stress. You got to let yourself off that hook, because once your body culls all those resources, where is it going to put them? It has to store them. And guess where it stores them first?
Tell me.
Belly fat.
There you go.
One of the first ways you know that somebody's under stress, you look at their waistline and you go, that stress actually puts it there because it wants a quick place to collect resources.
Store it.
So it puts it in the belly fat, and you think to yourself, well, wait a minute, I'm doing exercise, I'm doing that. Why can't I lose this belly? Do something about your stress first, and you'll begin to be able to do something about that belly fat. It's not going to go away on its own. You have to address it.
Wow. Okay. Well, is this what you call the biology of stress?
That's part of it, because I want people to understand that this is something that happens instantaneously. And as we were talking earlier off mic, Craig was pointing out that there are types of stress that are good for you. Actually, it's the way you address your stress that can be good for you. You reframe the story. Your brain, my brain, it's out there collecting data. That's all it does.
Yes.
Consider it like a moon, the rover on the moon collecting pieces of samples of this. Now, what we tell the brain about those pieces of data that it's collected is how it knows whether it's something dangerous or not. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
So if you reframe that story and you turn it into, wait a minute, I am stressed, but this energy, I can use this. I'm going to use this. And you turn your enthusiasm, you turn it from stress into enthusiasm. Do you see what I mean? You have to change it, but in order to do that, you first have to address the fact that you actually are under stress.
Okay.
Which so many of us don't do.
Why not, Jeanne?
We power through. We've been taught by society. We've been taught by our parents. Oh, you think I've got stress. You think you're...
Are you the first person this has ever happened to?
Thank you. Exactly. We have all this rejection stuff behind it so that we think, okay, I'm just going to power through this. I just have to get through this. And we power through. We get that extra cup of coffee. We get that donut. We get whatever sugar, whatever that source is of energy that our brain is now making us crave. Again, your brain is causing you to have those cravings. You think you just saw that donut and you just had to have it because it was... No. That craving came from deeper. Do you see what I mean? Your brain is actually thinking you need those resources. So you have to turn down the stress so that you can begin to understand, oh, wait, I don't need that donut. I'm just craving that because I think I need energy. I got this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so can we look at those moments as just that, a moment?
Yeah, and you have to start immediately addressing, well, wait a minute. I've been in this situation before. I know I can handle this. Let me turn this down. Let me take a few deep breaths and let me just turn this down. Because once you do that, you're going to be more efficient at anything else you do.
Come on.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So you take that deep breath. I tell people, listen, just a couple of times throughout your day, take some deep breaths, whether you know you need it or not, and you don't have to address it, tell the world, I am now going to address my stress. When you get to your destination, say you come up out of the subway tunnel and you get to your destination, or you're driving and you get to the store, whatever, you don't have to jump out the car. Take a moment. When you get to your destination, just stand over to the side for a minute and just breathe. Just settle yourself down. Collect yourself.
Yes,
Anything else you do after that, you're going to do with a better oxygen flow to the brain. You're going to do it from a more centered...